All right, guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. It's the first episode in a while, mainly down to me, but we do have a lot to cover because the international break has started as well. So let's get straight into it. Tom, we'll start with you. Spurs are top of the table, only team to have a 100% record in the Prem still, with 3-1-0 wins. How are you feeling?
I mean, it's a positive start, but I don't think I'm really getting ahead of myself like other fans are, to be honest. I've been to one of the games, our most recent one. The Man City one was a very good performance because we seem to be their bogey team. We know how to play against them, and it works. We've played a similar with Wolves as well, though, but because we got an early goal through the penalty, sort of sat back, which I don't want us to do because of the last year. However, one thing I can say about this year, even though people can say Wolves dominated us with possession, which they did, when it came to the final third, I thought we dealt with it really well. I thought in every single game when it came to the final third, we were defensively good, which is not something I'm really used to saying. In the Watford game, we were the team that held on to possession the most, so that was a positive. The only thing is we didn't create as much as I wanted to. We did get a couple of opportunities which we probably should have taken our chances a bit more, but I think we're lacking like a creative midfielder. Like ever since we haven't really placed Ericsson, in my opinion, and we're gonna start to see that be a bit of a boundary for us progressing in the future. Watford just ain't good, so our quality just overshone them, and they couldn't score against us. But I still think with teams like Watford, you need to be creating a lot of chances, and we just weren't doing that.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But how big do you think is keeping Kane now? It is confirmed he will be staying at least until January, probably the whole season now. Is that almost like a new signing for you guys? Sort of him staying.
Yeah, people. Yeah, you can say that because he's going to leave at a time where he weren't coming to training. But obviously, I'm glad he stayed. The only thing is, I feel like we needed to do a bit more recruitment just because he is our only technically striker at the club other than Dane Scarlett. But the boys. So technically, I feel like we messed up for the transfer window, which I feel like we needed a bit more. I don't think it's enough because you look at the other top four teams, or the main four teams, shall we say. I still think it's only 3 games in. All right, we're top, but I could see us. I don't think we'll get top 4. I just think we'll miss out and we'll get 5th. I think it's been positive, especially for the future, but I still think that we needed to do a little bit more to get into that top 4 this year. But we'll just see how it goes because you never know. We still got a strong enough squad to do it, but I just don't think we're as strong as them, and I don't think we will. But Nuno's had a good start, so we'll see how it goes with him.
Yeah, and a couple late signings as well in the window. Main one probably Emerson, our right back. Are you happy with Spurs' window?
Yeah, like I said, I just wanted a bit more. Like centre back was needed, happy with that. Right back was needed, happy with that. Could have possibly gotten another centre back, but to be fair, Davinson Sanchez. I know Eric. I thought Eric Dyer's done all right. He got nominated for Player of the Month, but felt like. I mean, if they were going to give it to a Tottenham defender, I would have said Davinson Sanchez. I thought he's been absolutely brilliant for us so far. Yeah, it's just the fact that I think we're missing a real creative midfielder, like a passer. We don't have a passer in the midfield. The only one you could possibly say we have is Lo Celso, but I still think more of like a get the ball and drive with it instead of like just pinging the ball about. And we all know Dele Alli ain't going to be that player either. So we do need a passer, and obviously we still only got one striker going in for them. Martinez couldn't get him because Lukaku's gone to Chelsea, and we put in a really good offer, to be fair, but they seem to reject it. And that Vlahovic, who I really wanted from Fiorentina, but it looks like he's staying for another season. So I'm happy with it because we signed like good potential players as well. They're young. I just wanted a bit more, like at least one more attacking signing, but we'll just see how it goes.
Fair enough. Jack, come on to you next. Currently third in the Prem. But I think the biggest news out of Manchester for you guys is Ronaldo returning. You know, how is that? What gives you that almost title push now?
It's got to be. We had a good squad. Every United fan before Ronaldo came was Sancho's a very good signing, Varane's a fantastic signing, but there was that gaping hole in midfield where we needed to sign, which we didn't. We're never close to, which is annoying. But then Ronaldo comes and he just gives you that extra push. No team's perfect. We look at City; they don't have a good left back, in my opinion. So no team's perfect, but so there can't be the big excuse can't be anymore. We don't have a CDM. Yeah, we don't, but we have a good enough round team to get over the line with that. I'm not saying that means we should go and win it, but as we have to challenge until the final day. If we get pipped to the line by a better City team, a better Chelsea team, or something like that, but we have to go and compete until the last day.
Yeah, and obviously Ronaldo is a fantastic signing. They're one of the best players of all time. But if we look at your Prem game so far, that midfield position that we always talk about is still causing their problems. That Wolves game, we saw Fred didn't have the best of games, I think it's fair to say. Obviously draw against Southampton was an ideal as well. So although Ronaldo is that great attacking asset, is there more with him during the team? Is there more just outscoring the opponent now rather than sort of comfortably defending and attacking?
Well, I think I know it was only one game, but I was very impressed with Varane's debut against Wolves. He didn't even have to use his full on pace and sprint back, but you can tell he's quick. Just his acceleration and just covering spaces. When Maguire went past, he just covered, blocked the cross, a few good tackles, won everything in the air. So I was impressed with his debut. So yeah, I do think we will have to score more than our opponent because I don't think we're gonna be able to protect the back four enough with our defenders. However, with the back four and looks like De Gea's form, we can keep clean sheets with the quality of our back four. We just need to, if Fred gets the ball, just tell him to pass it as quick as he can. Just don't dwell on the ball because first touch not great. As we saw against Southampton, as soon as he got the ball, the whole Southampton team pressed on him, and we've seen that with numerous teams before. Troy Deeney's come out and said, yeah, when we play Man United, and the manager tells us when Fred gets the ball, we press on him. So it's not going to be a great watch a midfield, especially because we've got so many attacking talents. Pogba's going to have to come in. And again, he's not that defensively solid, so it's going to be a struggle. But the whole team around us can cause any team problems.
Yeah. And then obviously Champions League draw has happened as well. You guys got Atalanta, Villarreal, and Young Boys. Should that be fairly straightforward for you guys?
Yeah, we finally have a decent group. We always get stitched up. I know we should have went through last year, but it was still a hard group. But yeah, that shouldn't be. I know Villarreal beat us in the final, but it should be really a straightforward group and should finish top.
Yeah, I think the only problem really caused by United is now everyone trying to fit Ronaldo into a fantasy team. I have no idea how I'm going to do it personally. But I've got Luke Shaw and hopefully he just crosses it into him every time. We'll see what happens there. Obviously staying on Ronaldo for a second, title company before the Chelsea. He's now broken the record for most goals in international football is his alone now. And he did it in pretty good style as well. 2 late goals against Ireland to win the game in the World Cup qualifiers. Do you think anyone's going to break that record?
No. No, like Ronaldo, he's a different breed. Like he's not the greatest for me, but he's definitely second. yeah, the guy just guarantees goals. Like it's crazy. He's gonna come into United. He's gonna he's gonna score a lot of goals with players like Sancho, Pogba, Rashford creating for him and stuff like that. But yeah, I think personally United are favourites for me because they finished second last year. They've signed a world-class centre-back in Varane. They've signed Sancho, and obviously now they've signed one of the greatest players of all time in Ronaldo, who's still bagging goals even at, how old is he now, 36? So yeah, to me, they're favourites just because they have improved in multiple areas. Obviously, they did need a DM, but I think now they can maybe work around it because their defence is good enough anyway. So to me, that makes them favourites.
Yeah, yes. Fair enough argument. Well, Chelsea are a lot of people's favourites as well, Ty. Still unbeaten in the league, but obviously not the probably result you want at Anfield. But what have you made to this sort of season? You know, it's currently fourth right now. Same points as four other teams, to be fair, but it's been a good start. We've got a well-earned point at Anfield, I think, as well. So, you know, and got Saul late in the window as well, even though you missed out on Kunde. So, you know, could you ask for a really much better start?
No, not really. I think when you look at it, the first two games was pretty good. I think the one I was looking forward to the most was the one against Liverpool, because then I could actually see if we were ready to challenge. And I mean, when you go down to 10 men, obviously I know we did sit back for the whole of the second half and that, but still, I think 1-1, even with 11 men at Anfield, that's still a good result. So to go down to 10 men, obviously losing Reece James, who is important to us in defence and attack. Yeah, I think that is a good result. But in the first half, we could have scored 2 or 3. So I'm hoping that, obviously over the course of the season, that the decision making is going to improve. I think I'm looking for more from Mount now. He's in the 3rd season. I want to see him improve in front of goal. Havertz, obviously he scored a good header, but there were still moments in the first half where the decision making was lacking. Even Lukaku at times as well, where he could have played a pass, he waited too long. He tried to dribble and he tripped over the ball at one point. But yeah, hopefully that improves as well. Oh,
Yeah.
Jack.
To be fair, you know, there were a couple of moments where Lukaku was running and he had Havertz or Mount either side of him and just maybe picking the wrong option at the time.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that will grow in terms of the longer spend there. Yeah, Lukaku, I don't know if you guys saw it, did well yesterday. He scored 2 good goals against, I think, Estonia. It was pretty good finishes, just back to the defender. Didn't really have to do the dribbling, to be fair to him, but you know, it was some good finishing there. Ty, are you happy with the defence? You lost Zuma, but you didn't really replace him with how expected to. So are you happy with, you know, what you got at the back?
At the moment, yeah, but obviously if we get an injury, then it could, like, if obviously that's what it does when you get injured, but if he does, obviously he's at that age now where it can happen. If he gets injured, then it's a problem. Like, obviously we sold Zuma thinking we was going to get Kunde, so it's I don't know. Like, hopefully Chalobah can do a job as backup, which I think he can, because I think we'll go back in for Kunde in January, and hopefully we can get it done then. But at the moment, I'm happy. But obviously, Reece James can do a job, but then we didn't get a backup wing back. We let Livramento go to Southampton without bringing another wing back in. Obviously, we were linked with Hakimi, who got rejected. So, you know, it is what it is. At the moment, I'm happy. But obviously, if injuries kick in, then you never know what can happen.
Yeah. To be fair, especially with European football coming up as well, it's going to be tough, but we'll see how that goes. And then I think everyone's favorite topic in football right now is Arsenal, because of just how shit we're doing. I think, the last game was the 5-0 loss to City. I'm not going to lie, yeah. It was shit, but I don't think it was a red card, personally, in my opinion. I don't think Xhaka should have been sent off, especially after you see the Pogba incident against Wolves as well.
Yeah, but I
Harden,
think he should have been sent off as well. Not gonna lie.
because although Xhaka has jumped into it, it's not really too good because one of his like lower legs is an angle, and he just smacked the ball away as well. So
I think it's because it's Xhaka. He's got a reputation.
yeah, but don't get me wrong, I don't think it'll change the result much. Probably would still been like 3-0, but I think after that, 2-0 down, 10 men away at City is always going to end 5-6-0. I think what's good is I think Gabriel came back and played in a close behind doors friendly yesterday, so that's good. And Ben White came back as well, played in that. So them two playing together is useful as well because they are the two sort of marquee signing centre backs that we made. Partey didn't play, which is a bit annoying, but when he comes back, I'll be a bit more sort of calm about the midfield. Attacking wise, it's a bit of a weird one, because we went from scoring 6 against West Brom, albeit a poor West Brom side in terms of they played their B team, we played pretty much most of our A team. But going from that to none in the Premier League is still a bit worrying. Got a big game next to Norwich as well, relegation 6-pointer. So if you lose that, it is going to be worrying. But Tom, I'll come back to you. Do you think so? Against City, we went through at the back, and I believe apparently yesterday against Brentford, we went through at the back as well. We played Ben White, Gabriel, and Pablo Mari in the back three. Do you think maybe that is the best way forward for us at the moment?
I've always said to you that whenever Arteta has had success and the Arsenal fans behind him, so if we go back to your FA Cup win, he was always playing a five at the back and it worked. I think he's choosing the wrong personnel recently. I don't know how Kolasinac is even at the club, let alone started left centre back against City. I don't know how that happened. But to be fair, you have got quite a few injuries. But for me personally, I would revert to that, keep going to that five at the back. I just think it suits, especially Tierney. I think he's a good attacking outlet for you, and you can even use Saka. I just think it's a better option because you've never been great at the back. I think it will suit Ben White if you go there once everyone's fit. And that is the only time we have seen Arteta look dangerous with an Arsenal team is when he went five at the back. So I just think it'd be stupid not to. I wouldn't look into the Man City one too much. I think you were going to get beat anyway. You could probably let him off with who he picked just because of how many players you do have out. But once everyone's basically all fit, well, I just think you should. I think that's your best option to go for with the five at the back, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, our best success has come with five at the back. We finished the season pretty strongly with 4 at the back, to be fair. I think it was 5 wins in a row. So there has been some success there. But like I said, I think Ben White, he's done best at Brighton in a 3 at the back. So formation there. I think Gabriel returning is big because he's our best sort of aerial centre back in terms of aerial ability, strength as well. He's our best one. So I think that's just big for us. But, right back as well, I think Tomiyasu, he's probably going to be better and better, let's be honest, than Cedric. I don't really watch Bologna that much, but according to what I see from stats-wise and Serie A, people, they're
He's
not
good
happy
defensively, I hear.
Yeah, they're not happy with him joining Arsenal because they don't think Arsenal's the right club for him in terms of the way we're progressing, which makes me feel good because that means he's probably a good player. But yeah, her defensively, he's been good. So I think with Tierney attacking the way he does, if Tomiyasu's job is to stay back and almost, just cover him. If it's a 4, say if we play a 4 at the back, if Tierney goes forward and there's we stay back and almost revert to a 3, that could work. But yeah, I think we've got Norwich next. After that, it is Burnley, Wimbledon in the Cup, and then Tottenham. So, those Norwich, Burnley, and Spurs games have been huge for us. We've got to try and get 9 points. The reason I'm saying 9 is we are at home against Spurs. If it's away, I wouldn't expect much, but at home, I'm still expecting us to get results there. But it's not looking too good for us at the start. Let's just say that.
The thing is, though, 3 games, but only one of them's been a shock. Chelsea, you're expected to lose.
Mm,
City, you're expected to lose. Brentford, they've just come up, but you're still expected to win with the squad you had, and you lost to
yeah,
them. So realistically, you should have scored at least. You should have scored a couple, but there's only been one shock there. Out of 3 games, you were expected to lose to Chelsea, and
Yeah,
you
but
expected
Jack, you got
to City.
There's
you
a
got
way
to
to
remember
lose.
it's also yeah. Is it Arsenal weren't? I remember watching like AFTV and stuff like that after West Brom game. They're not saying go beat City. They're saying just give 100% and show us something to believe in. They didn't do any of that. Not even in the Brentford game. I can't remember the Chelsea game too much whether they done well, but I watched the Brentford and Man City game and they literally did nothing. They didn't show any promising things to give to the Arsenal fans to let them know that it could be a good season. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
They
fair
haven't
enough.
scored. They haven't scored a goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which they should have done, and some of the goals they've conceded have been terrible. But you just got to remember, it is City, it's Chelsea. So I get that they should have performed better. They should have scored, and some of the defending, especially in that City game, was just laughable. And that second Brentford goal, but you've got to go and beat convincingly Norwich on the weekend or next week.
yeah. I think I'm expecting us to be Norwich. Don't get me wrong, but if we don't get 3 points in that, I will be very worried about the situation we're in because the players who are out are back now, apart from Partey. But one player out is you can't expect a fully fit squad the whole time. So one player out shouldn't really make a difference, even if it is our best midfielder. So we should beat them with the players we got back now.
How much longer has he got?
Well, if he beats Norwich, not long in my opinion. But if he loses Norwich, sorry. But I don't know. I'm expecting. The good thing is, if you look at the team who play against City, how many of them actually signed by Arteta? How many of them were actually like his players that he's brought in? That's the thing. So now that we have Gabriel back, got Ben White back, Tomiyasu should be good to start in that Norwich game as well. Lokonga is probably going to play as well because Xhaka is suspended now. So
why didn't he start against City? Because from what I've seen, he's looked decent in like friendlies and that. But so I thought he would have started.
Might be a bit too open.
Yeah, would be a tough game for him, but I'm not too sure anyway. Why he didn't start? I would probably start him, to be fair, but it's going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to play 3 or 4 at back or 4 at the back against Norwich, but we have the personnel now to do the job, win convincingly against Norwich, not just scrape a 1-0 win. So we should get the job done there. But let's move on to the international football now. Probably come at a good time for us, but still boring in general, I think everyone would say. Jack, it was a good win for England yesterday, 4-0. It's a normal international break, good win. Racism from the crowd, just regular, I think now, which is a bit worrying. But in terms of performance itself, were you happy with what you saw?
Do you know what? I actually was. Look, they're not Hungary aren't a great side. They I know they didn't get through, but they overperformed in the Euros. Expected to get battered by each Portugal, Germany, France. Obviously, due to Germany and France, and unluckily, actually lost to Portugal. Like late on, they scored 3 goals. But I think 60,000 hostile fans are going to be loud, and after 20 minutes, you couldn't hear them really. We controlled the possession. First half, we should have created a few more, but second half, I think we created loads. Harry Kane should have got 4 goals in his 3 sitters, but I thought the performance was good. And yeah, like you said, it's just a shame that obviously the Neon at the start of the game was booed. I think we all knew that, even though it shouldn't have happened, we all knew that was going to happen. And then obviously the monkey chance to Sterling and Jude Bellingham was just awful.
Yeah, not good for Hungary fans. I mean, it didn't really make sense to me because they were meant to have 2 games behind closed doors, whatever happened in the Euros. Because that was UEFA and this is FIFA, it doesn't count. But now, I can't see them really having much games with fans there now because of what's happening in England. But it's just a bit disappointing from, I think, all the organisations involved. Tom, Calvin Phillips won England's Player of the Year over the last, I think, 12 months. That's kind of from September to August or whatever. Him and Declan Rice seem to be Southgate's go-to midfielders now in that two pairing. Are you happy with that? And are you happy with how they're both progressing in this England midfield?
Yeah, I thought he played well again yesterday. I think it was a real shock to me in the Euros how he started. Wasn't the biggest fan of it just because I wanted a bit of Grealish in there to start, possibly put Mount deeper. But then the Euros changed my mind about him. I knew he was a good player, but playing Rice and him ain't actually so bad. I thought it'd be too defensive. But considering how well our attack is, it works, especially since I've seen with Phillips during England, which I don't normally see with Leeds, he presses really, really well. We saw that a lot in the Euros. I think he's going to be vital for our future. Whether he'll stay in there, I don't know, because we do have a lot of talent within that midfield, especially with someone like Bellingham. We just don't know how long it'll take for him to get in, because how can you deny someone of like that quality at 17? You can only imagine how far he could go in the sport. But for Phillips, I think he's had a brilliant breakthrough. I think he's solidified his place for World Cup, to be honest, unless he gets like a big injury and has a really bad season at Leeds. Other than that, I think he's solidified that that's what it's going to be. I think we sort of know what the team's going to be for the World Cup. I think it'll be the exact same. Maybe Grealish just starts more. That's the only thing I think will change, to be honest, in for the World Cup. But yeah, I think he's had a brilliant start to his England career.
Yeah, I agree with that. Going to Euro, I wasn't the most excited by that midfield partnership, but they've done well. Like I said, Bellingham, he's doing so well at Dortmund right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much got another season and a half before the World Cup where he's got time to progress and keep building on his game. So, can Rice and Phillips keep him out? Some of that quality, I'm not too sure they can, to be honest with you, but we know that Southgate does sort of trust his team.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So I don't know if he'd be willing to sort of change that around, but we'll see about that. Chai, we are already top of the group, fairly 5 points clear already after 4 games. Got, I believe, Poland and I want to say Andorra next for England in this break. Is it just simple 6 points in those games, do you think?
Yeah, just like it always is in these kind of games. Like, mate, when it comes to these type of games, we're like bloody prime Barcelona. It's crazy. But yeah, guaranteed 6 points. Obviously, Poland, there is the Lewandowski threat, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward with the players that we have anyway. So I think the only player that probably should have been called up that wasn't is Greenwood. So because I think that was kind of harsh, because I don't know who the strikers that got picked.
Bamford got picked for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Calvert-Lewin did get picked, but he withdrew with injury.
So I think Greenwood could have been picked over Bamford, but yeah, about the next 2 games, so guaranteed 6 points.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
always is with these qualifiers for the World Cup and Euro. Sorry, Joel. You see some teams get 2 hard teams in a group. We always seem to get San Marino in a group. And they get these crap teams. So it just, even though it's for the World Cup, there's just no excitement with these qualifiers, even though they're competitive.
Yeah,
I think they're boring and pointless, to be honest. They should just give us a bye and let us fucking train with our clubs, bruv.
I mean, I guess it is good for the players to just work together, just in that scenario. But I mean, watching them 3 times as well, it's a bit boring, I guess.
Yeah.
So I know the Nations League was there to sort of try and fix that, but even then, I don't really think the fans are that interested in winning the Nations League, if we're completely honest. So that is going to be. I don't know. I don't think they can make it interesting. Between
it's going to keep the same.
Yeah, I don't think they can make it interesting between competitions.
You just got to wait, ain't
you?
You got to wait.
Yeah, it's got to wait every 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that makes the actual competitions better himself because of how boring the rest of it is.
Yeah.
But elsewhere, there were a couple of shocks, if you want to call them that. Sweden did beat Spain. Obviously, they met in the Euro group stages, but Sweden beat them 2-1 last night.
Lindelof. Captain Lindelof.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he's a key to success then. Give that one to him and not Maguire. Italy drew to Bulgaria 1-1 as well. And I believe the other day France also drew to Bosnia 1-1. Yeah, but if Koundé got sent off, I think he like almost killed Kolasinac, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
But
he's pissed off.
yeah, that was an interesting one. Like I said earlier, Portugal beat Ireland. I think Ireland held out pretty well for 89 minutes, and then Ronaldo just came through with 2 clutch headers. I don't know how he got that much power on the second one, but it's just
He's on
typical Ronaldo.
roids, bro. Allow it.
I don't know. It's
He
a bit
needs to
mental,
get
but
tested.
they probably do testing quite often, to be honest. 36-year-old to be doing that.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be taking penalties now for United, Jack.
Yeah.
I'd use assume so. So obviously, I mean, he's got to be in it.
Yeah, I don't think
that
he let Bruno take
Bruno
him,
stat
but
padding.
Ronaldo-
He takes it for Portugal.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he is Portugal captain. But yeah, I assume so. He will take it for United.
Then I believe Norway drew to Netherlands as well. Haaland, I believe, scored the goal for Norway. Then Klaassen scored for Netherlands. In Netherlands, it's a weird one because they did all right the Euros. The team is looking good, but the performances are still a bit average from them in these games. But against the bigger teams, they sort of do better, which is a bit weird. Obviously, Van Gaal's back with managing them as well. So yeah, I mean, 2 more games to deal with before we're back to club football. I don't know if that's much better for me, but it's better for everyone else. Next week we'll have a video, but it probably won't be one like this. We'll probably do something different. Maybe a tier list we'll bring to you, who knows? But I think we'll agree international breaks is just not the one. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you all for listening, and have a nice.
Before I think it's time to talk. I think it's time we